As an aspiring filmmaker myself, I started making short films during my COVID lockdown year, which was my 6th grade year of school. These short films were ways for me to show my science teacher that I had a depth of knowledge in what we were studying. My science teacher did not ask me to do these films. I was doing it to supplement the quizzes and tests we were doing online in class. These short films show a powerful alternative assessment, and I think educators will want to incorporate more of these for all diverse learners and tech-savvy students. Students' use of new media boosts engagement, critical thinking, and retention by moving from passive learning to active application. Students today are no longer passive recipients of content. No, we are co-creators and creators of content, and we often do it a lot better than the educators who are teaching us. I'm going to show you some videos I made in 6th and 7th grades. Again, my science teacher never asked us to do these. It was just something I was personally interested in because I want to go into film and TV. But it also was a way for me to show my teacher that I was truly understanding the content, even if my memorization assessments didn't mirror that. I also have to say that the use of technology is critical in learning today, and it is far more engaging to do projects like the ones I made up to show deep understanding, and students get the added value of increasing their technology and literacy skills through projects like these. I'll start out really simple with a 37-second video I made in 6th grade to show that I understood the phases of the moon. This was a fun video because I got to eat the homework, but it clearly shows that I know the phases of the moon. Did you notice that the full moon had a wolf-like howl? That was a clever touch, and it shows that a little humor like that in my schoolwork. Humor is attractive to the emotional system, and it also allows for some higher level thinking skills. The second 6th grade video I made was when we were learning about the physics of impact forces, energy transfer, and motion. And it is that simple egg drop activity that is a pretty common activity, except I was in lockdown and made a video for my work. This video is 1 minute and 50 seconds long. Let's watch it and then discuss it afterwards.
Trial number 5. 1, 2, 3. This is the parachute project, trial number 7, with a real egg. 1, 2, 3. This is the parachute project, trial number 9, with a real egg. 1, 2, 3. That was trial number 9, and the result was the egg did not break still. So the bubble wrap saved its life.
This video shows that science takes a lot of trials. It took me 9 trials to be successful. You can see and feel my struggle and frustration, but also the joy of my success. Let's face it, a standard test assessment does not capture the important STEM experiment elements like frustration and joy in the same way my playful video does. Another 6th grade STEM video is about buoyancy, density difference in atmospheric pressure and altitude. We had learned about Larry Walters, also known as Lawn Chair Larry, the guy who climbed to fame by sitting in a lawn chair attached to 45 helium-filled balloons and climbed to an altitude of 16,000 feet. Let's watch my 2-minute video. Again, one of the things I love about these STEM videos is that it places me in the role of a scientist doing experiments, and that scientific experiments is a whole lot of trial and error. It's good to remember that part of STEM. My last 6th grade STEM video was a unit we were studying on volcanoes, and this is a 2.5-minute video. Let's watch it. I had bought one of those volcano kits, built it, and when it was time for the climactic moment of having the volcano erupt, what a letdown. It was really disappointing, and I had put a lot of effort into it, so that's when I decided to add humor, and shook my volcano model and inserted that funny clip from the movie Jurassic Park. That clip saved the whole video, in my opinion. But this is also a good example of how video to video, because I added the instructions into the video. I added quiz questions from my peers to answer to help them review for our upcoming test. The last video I have for you to see is one I made at the beginning of 7th grade, when we went into COVID-19 lockdown for a few more weeks. We were studying the structure of plant and animal cells, and I decided to bake a cell cake. Here is the video, which is a little longer, but worth the watch.
Hello, 7th grade. I miss being with you all and wish I could present in person, but instead, I decided to bake you all a cell cake, and that way I meet the requirements for this assignment, and also get to give you a treat to let you know I'm thinking of you. First, enjoy this little song that will help you review the functions of the organelles while looking at how I made this cell cake. After that, I'll show you that I know the functions of the organelles.
Cells, 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 the building blocks of life. Cells, 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 the building blocks of life. They're in your pet and in your leaves, in your toes and all the trees. Cells are in your families. Cells, cells, cells. Most cells have a nucleus, and it runs a show. It's in the center of the cell and contains the genetic code. The mitochondria are the power plants of the cell. Vacuum will store food and water, they're useful just as well. Ribosomes are working hard, making proteins one by one. Golgi bodies pack them up, ship them off for fun. The endoplasmic reticulum carries proteins carefully. The lysosomes are janitors, clean the cell for free. Cytoplasm's a gel-like stuff that the cell parts are floating in. The cell membrane says what goes out and what comes back in. Plant cells have a thick cell wall to protect the parts within. Chloroplasts make all the food when photosynthesis begins. Cells, 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 the building blocks of life. Cells, 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 the building blocks of life. They're in your pet and in your knees, in your toes and all the trees. Cells are in your families. Cells, cells, cells.
A couple of important things to note here. First of all, the power of music to help with memorization. This song was really a hit with my peers, and several of them told me it helped them remember things for our exam. Secondly, a project like this takes some planning and thoughtfulness, and it made me go way deeper than any rote memorization would have asked me to do. It is also kinesthetic, and that helps a lot of learners. I use some pop culture and some humor to keep it engaging. And like the video with the moon phases, it is always good if you get to eat your homework. Again, my teacher did not require this, but she was so taken with it that she decided to add the art project of creating a cell model to her teaching, and it became one of 7th grade's best beloved science units because of my video. I show you these simple videos I made because I do want to confront the idea that assessments have to be about memorization only. Try to shake up the ways you do assessments and add some creativity. But also, the powerful use of technology here is pretty evident, and it is clear that I have always wanted to be involved with film and TV, as far back as 6th grade. I hope these videos show the power of decolonizing your assessment practices to include more ways that all students can be successful, to show you mastery of content. Stay tuned for the last video, where I draw conclusions from what we've learned in my entire set of STEM Next Flight Crew videos.